Look how beautiful my doily turned out. I'm going to be showing you how I created this. I just love the finished look of this doily. So gorgeous. And it fits perfectly with my little teacups. I have to share with you my amaryllis flower. We received this as a Christmas present, and we weren't sure what the flowers were going to look like. And it starts out as a stalk, and then it opens like this, and it has more than one bloom. The first one that bloomed had 3 beautiful flowers, and they're still blooming and look just really gorgeous. And now the second stalk is blooming, and it's going to have 4 beautiful flowers open. Here is a close-up of the design. I found this book in an antique store. You can go to my Helen May 8 YouTube channel if you want to see some of my favorite antique stores here in San Diego. But I found out that this book is in the public domain, so there's no copyright for it. So I'm able to bring this pattern to you. The pattern that I chose in this booklet is called Number 12 Refreshment Set, Time Out for Refreshments. So the measurements on this is 15 inches by 15 inches. And you can see that the length across is approximately 5 inches by 5 inches. I followed the pattern with the size of the crochet hook, and the size of the crochet hook that I used was 1.4 millimeters. And the thread that I used is a size 20 thread yarn. And you can see that the thread fits perfectly with this 1.4 millimeter crochet hook. To make it easier for you, I'm going to be using a larger crochet hook. So on video tutorial, I'm going to be using a 2.25 millimeter crochet hook. And the yarn I'm going to be using is from Yarnspirations, Patton's Grace. Here's some information about this yarn. It's 100% mercerized cotton. And it works great for doilies. I love it. This color is Snow. You can see the size difference. The length across the larger snowflake is 7.5 inches. And this is the smaller one. So there's a significant size difference. And you can see the size different with the thread too. So when you use a larger thread and a larger hook, your finished piece is going to be larger too. So I'm going to be showing you how to make one of the snowflakes. I call them snowflakes because they look like snowflakes, and you can actually make these as snowflakes too around Christmas time if you wanted. So I'm going to be making my 9th one with you on video tutorial, and I'm also going to show you how to attach all of the 9 pieces as well as how to make the centers. So you'll be making the centers along with me, and then I will have a larger 9-piece setting so you can see the size difference with the different hook and yarn. If you don't want to make the larger one, you can just follow along with the same size hook for the smaller one and the size 20 thread yarn if you like this size much better. So if you're going to be following along with the larger one, the finished piece is going to be approximately 22 to 22.5 inches in length. The reason why I'm using a larger yarn and hook on video tutorial is so that you can follow along easier. And also it's a lot easier to use the larger hook to crochet with than it is for the thread yarn and smaller hook. So if you're a beginner, you may want to follow along with the larger hook first, and then once you get the pattern down and the way to hold your fingers, it'll be easier for you to use the smaller hook with the smaller thread yarn. Now for this crochet project, you're going to need your 2.25 millimeter crochet hook, as well as your Yarnspirations Patons Grace. This is 100% mercerized cotton, and the color I'm using is Snow. Now remember, if you want to make the smaller snowflake according to the original pattern, you're going to need your 1.4 millimeter crochet hook, as well as your size 20 thread yarn. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle or darning needle. I'm using one with a large eye so you can fit the yarn through, and mine has a sharp end, but you can use a dull end if you want to. So for this part, I'm deviating from the original pattern because it didn't work as well when I followed the original pattern. I like to use the magic circle. So I'm going to show you the magic circle method. So you just take your yarn and you wrap it around your 2 middle fingers twice, and then hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go through those 2 loops around your middle finger, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through that loop for your slip knot. Then you're going to go under both loops on the hook, bring up a loop, then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both of those loops for a single crochet. Then you're going to make a chain of 5. So what I do is I usually just leave one finger in the magic circle. My middle finger, I grab the bottom of the thread or yarn, and my thumb just beneath the crochet hook so I can stabilize the yarn. Then yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chain, 4 chain, and 5 chain. So you have 6, a total of 6. Now you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the magic circle, you're going to bring up a loop, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through 2 of those loops. You have 2 loops remaining. yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through those 2 remaining loops to complete a double crochet. And you're going to do this 6 more times. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to make a double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, so right now I have 1, 2, 3. I need 3 more. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more. So now you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to leave your crochet hook in that last loop, take your forefinger and thumb, hold the base, and then you have 2 yarn strands here. You're going to pull on one of them. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. So you just close the magic circle, and you want to leave a little tiny opening. So don't close it completely. Then hold it with your forefinger and thumb. Then take that loose yarn end and pull on that. And pull it just so you have a small little hole in the center. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to make a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of that beginning chain of 6. So you're going to go into that 3rd chain with your crochet hook. You're going to bring up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and bring that yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And this is how your work should look. So now we're going to make a beginning 3 treble cluster stitch. So you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1 chain. We're going to make a chain of 6, 2 chains, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to yarn over twice, and you're going to go into the base of that chain 6, so right into that stitch at the base. You're going to bring up a loop, so bring up a little bit of a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 loops only. Then you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 more loops. Then you have 2 loops remaining. You're going to yarn over twice. You're going to go into that base, that same stitch at the base. You're going to bring up a loop. So bring up a little bit of a loop. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 loops only. Now you have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 more loops. Then you have 3 loops remaining. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 remaining loops to complete your beginning 3 treble cluster stitch. So now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to make a 3 treble cluster stitch into that next space. And then we're going to make a 3 treble cluster stitch into the top of that double crochet stitch. Then we're going to make a 3 treble crochet stitch, cluster stitch into the next space. And in between each cluster stitch, you'll have a chain of 3. So now we're going to make a 3 treble cluster stitch into that next space. So you yarn over twice, go into that space, bring up a loop. You can see how I bring the loop up a little bit. Then yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 loops. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 more loops. You have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over twice. Go into the same space. Bring up a loop. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 loops. You have 4 loops remaining. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 more loops. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over twice, go into that same space, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 loops. You have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through 2 more loops. You have 4 loops remaining. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 4 remaining loops to complete your 3 treble cluster stitch. Now you're going to chain 3, and this time we're going to make a 3 treble cluster stitch into the top stitch of that double crochet from the previous round. So you're going to yarn over twice, go into that top stitch of the double crochet from the previous round, bring up a loop, and again you want to bring the loop up a little bit. Then yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through 2 loops. You have 3 loops remaining. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over twice, go into that same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over twice, go in that same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2, 4 loops remaining, yarn over and go through all 4 loops on the hook. And this is how your work looks so far. Now we're going to repeat this process all the way around. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to yarn over twice, go into the space, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over twice, go into that same space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over twice, go into the same space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, then yarn over and go through all 4. Then you're going to chain 3, then we're going to make a 3 treble cluster into the top stitch of the previous round's double crochet. Then yarn over and go through all 4 to complete your 3 treble cluster stitch. Chain 3, now you're going to go into the next space, make your 3 treble cluster stitch. I'm just going to do a couple more with you and then I'll let you finish. Chain 3, okay, go ahead and finish your 3 treble cluster stitches all the way around back to the beginning and then come back. So now this is how your work should look. I have 16 3 treble crochet cluster stitches in the round, and there's a chain 3 in between each of the treble cluster stitches. Then what you're going to do is make a chain of 3, and then you're going to make a slip stitch into the top stitch of your first beginning three treble crochet cluster stitch. So go ahead and go into that top stitch, grab both loops, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook to complete the slip stitch. And this is how your work will look in the round. So now for this next round, we're going to be making 5 single crochet stitches into each of the spaces, chain 3 spaces in this previous round. So take your crochet hook, go into that first chain 3 space, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both loops for a single crochet. And we're going to make 5 total single crochet into that first chain 3 space. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And they will be a little crowded. You can kind of press on it if you want to even out the 5 single crochet stitches. Then into the next chain 3 space, again, you're going to make 5 single crochet stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do one more with you, and then I'll let you complete this round on your own. There's 1, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4, 5. So go ahead, finish making 5 single crochet into every chain 3 space from the previous round, and then come back. So I just finished my last 5 single crochet in the last chain 3 space from the previous round. Now you're just going to make a slip stitch into the first single crochet that you made from the previous round. So take your crochet hook, go into that first single crochet stitch from the previous round, yarn over, and then bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete a slip stitch. And this is what my work looks like so far. So now we're going to make a beginning 3 treble crochet stitch for the next round. So you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to yarn over twice, go into the base of the chain 6, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 of the loops, yarn over twice, you're going to yarn over and then go through 2 more loops. Then you have 2 loops on the hook. Now you yarn over twice. Go into the base, the same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through all 3 loops to complete your beginning 3 treble cluster stitch. Now you're going to chain 7. So now, after you make your chain of 7, you can see how I hold my hands. You're going to count 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that 5th stitch, you're going to make a double crochet. So you take and yarn over, and see how I hold to brace the yarn with my 2 fingers. Then you want to make sure you go into the 5th stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you get both of those loops. Then you're going to yarn over. You can let go now. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn up. Yarn over, go through 2 loops. Then you have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through those 2 remaining loops to complete a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 7. After you make your chain of 7, you're going to go make a 3 treble crochet cluster stitch into the 5th stitch again. So you yarn over twice. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into both loops. You're going to bring up a loop. Make sure you bring up a loop a little bit. Then yarn over, turn the hook upside and go through 2 loops. Pull up a loop a little bit. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through 2 more loops. 2 loops remaining. Yarn over twice. Go into the same stitch. Bring up a loop. Yarn over, go through 2 loops. Bring up a loop. Yarn over. Go through 2 more stitches. Now you have 3 loops remaining. Yarn over twice. Go into the same stitch. Bring up a loop. Yarn over, go through 2. Pull up a stitch, Yarn over, go through 2. Now you have 4 remaining loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 4 remaining loops to complete your 3 treble cluster stitch. Then you're going to chain 7. So you're going to keep alternating a double crochet and a 3 treble crochet stitch all the way around. So I'm going to do a few of these with you because the double crochet stitch can be a little tricky. So you're going to yarn over. Now I'm making a double crochet. You can see how I'm holding my yarn. You're going to skip into the 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to go into that 5th stitch. Make sure you grab both loops of the stitch. Bring up a loop. Now this one, since it's a double crochet, you're not going to pull up a loop. You're just going to leave the loop just like that. Then you can let go, yarn over, go through 2 loops. You have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over and go through those 2 remaining loops to complete a double crochet. Now you're going to chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to make a 3 treble crochet cluster stitch. So you just want to make sure, sometimes when you're not paying attention, you'll make 2 double crochets next to each other or 2 3 treble cluster stitches next together. So you don't have to frog or undo the work that you've done. Just try to make sure that you're alternating the 3 treble crochet cluster stitch and the double crochet stitches. So now you're going to yarn over twice. You're going to look for the 5th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to bring up a loop. Now this one, you're going to pull up a little bit. Yarn over and go through 2 loops. Pull up the loop a little bit. Yarn over, go through 2 loops. 2 loops remaining. Yarn over twice. Go into the same stitch. Bring up a loop. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over twice. Go into the same stitch. Bring up a loop. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. 4 loops remaining. Yarn over and go through all 4 loops on the hook to complete your 3 treble cluster crochet stitch. That's a tongue twister. Now you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to make a double crochet into the 5th stitch. So yarn over, going to count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to chain 7. Now we're going to make a 3 treble cluster crochet stitch. So yarn over twice. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring up a loop. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. Now I'll do one more with you. One more set. Chain 7. Now I'm going to make one more double crochet with you, and then I'll let you finish the rest. So go ahead, finish the rest all the way around, and then come back. So now this is how my work looks. And you know that if you ended with a double crochet, that you did it right. And you just want to double check that you alternated your 3 treble crochet stitches with the double crochet stitch all the way around. Then, after you make your last double crochet, you can chain 7, then you're going to make a slip stitch into the top stitch of your first 3 treble crochet stitch. So you just go right into that top stitch. Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring that yarn through both loops on your hook to complete the slip stitch. So you completed that round. So now you're going to want to make a slip stitch into the next chain 7 space from the previous round. So take your crochet hook, go into that space, bring up a loop, and then just bring that loop through the loop on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that counts as your first double crochet for this round. You're going to make 5 more double crochet into the same space. So you yarn over, go into the same space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over, go into the same space, bring up a loop, and remember you don't pull this loop up like you do for the treble crochets. Yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So far, counting that first chain 3, we have 4 double crochet. We need 2 more in the same space. So we have a total of 6 double crochet in that space. Now we're going to make a double crochet 2 together over the double crochet from the previous round. So to do that, you yarn over, go into the same space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2. You have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over, go into the next space, next chain 7 space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2. You have 3 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 3 loops on your hook. And you can move it over if you want. And this is how your work should look so far. You just made a double crochet 2 together over the previous round's 2 chain 7 spaces, skipping that double crochet from the previous round. Now you're going to make 6 double crochet into the same chain 7 space from the previous round. There's 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're going to make a chain of 6. Then you're going to make 6 double crochet into the next chain 7 space from the previous round. So you can see that each of your chain 6s will be over the 3 treble crochet cluster from the previous round. So make sure that you have 6 double crochet. Then you're going to make a double crochet 2 together over the previous round's double crochet. And again, you can move that double crochet down. Then you're going to make 6 double crochet into the same space. So just make sure that you have 6 double crochet in that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're not counting the double crochet 2 together stitch. Then you're over the 3 treble crochet cluster stitch from the previous round. So you're going to chain 6. And then make 6 double crochet into the next chain 7 space from the previous round. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to make one more set with you, and then I'll let you finish the round. So now we're going to double crochet 2 together. Then 6 double crochet into the same space. Chain 6, 6 double crochet in the next space. Now go ahead and repeat this pattern all the way around and then come back. This is how my work looks so far. So you can see above each of my double crochets from the previous round, you have a double crochet 2 together, and then a chain 6 above the 3 treble crochet clusters from the previous round. And this is how my work looks. It's really beautiful. Then you're going to finish with a chain of 6. Then you're going to make a slip stitch into the top stitch of that first chain 3 that you made. So here's 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chain. So the top stitch of that first chain 3 that you made. You're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. And then that completes your slip stitch for the previous round. So now we are going to slip stitch in each of these stitches until you get to the double crochet 2 together stitch. So the first stitch is a little tricky. You can see it right here. You're going to go under both of those loops for a slip stitch. So kind of wiggle your hook. Bring the yarn over, bring the loop through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then the rest are easy. You go through both loops, yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. And you're just going to keep slip stitching until you get to the double crochet 2 together stitch. So one more in the double crochet 2 together stitch. So now for this round, you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to make a treble crochet stitch into that chain 6 from the previous round. So you're going to yarn over twice and then go into that chain 6 space from the previous round, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, and go through the remaining 2 loops to complete your treble crochet. Then you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to make a treble crochet stitch into the same space. So you yarn over twice, go into the same space, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. Then you're going to chain 3, make another treble crochet stitch into the same space, and you're going to repeat this a total of 6 times. So this one is the first, second, third. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Chain 3. And then treble crochet stitch into the same space. And then this is how your work looks. You have 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to chain 3. And then you're going to make a single crochet in the double crochet 2 together stitch from the previous round. So you go into that stitch, bring the loop through that stitch. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through both loops for a single crochet. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to make a treble crochet stitch into that chain 6 space from the previous round. So yarn over twice, go into that space, bring up a loop. Since you're making a treble crochet stitch, you're not going to bring up a loop like that. You're just going to keep it like you just, how do I explain it? Just level with the stitch work from the previous round, just like this. Then yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops, then yarn over and go through the 2 remaining loops to complete your treble crochet stitch. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then make your treble crochet stitch in the same space. And again, you're going to repeat this a total of 6 times. So this first one counts as your first space, second space, chain 3, treble crochet into the same stitch, space, so now I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. So now I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is how my work looks so far. Now you're going to make a chain of 3. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the stitch, the double crochet 2 together stitch from the previous round. So you go into that stitch, bring up a loop, and then make a single crochet. And then you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around back to the beginning. So I'm going to make one more with you, and then I'll let you finish. So the first thing you're going to do is make a chain of 3. Then you're going to make a treble crochet into the chain 6 space from the previous round. Chain 3. Chain 3, treble crochet into the same chain 6 space from the previous round. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Make sure you have a total of 6. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to chain 3, make a single crochet into the top stitch of that double crochet 2 together stitch from the previous round. And then you're just going to repeat the pattern all the way around back to the beginning and then come back. So now this is how my work looks. And before you finish this round, you just want to make sure that each, I'll just call them little petals, have 6 spaces for each of them. Then on your last chain 3, we're going to make a slip stitch into the base of that first chain 3 that you made in the round. So you just go right into that space and then bring the loop through both loops on your hook to complete the slip stitch for that round. Now we're going to crochet the last round for this motif. So each of these are called a motif. So in the first chain 3 space that you created, you're going to make 3 single crochet. So go into that stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through both loops for a single crochet. So that's 1. 2. 3. Then in the next space, you're going to make 3 single crochet. So go into that next space, bring up a loop, make a single crochet, go in the same space, bring up a loop, make your second single crochet, same space, bring up a loop, third single crochet. Now we're going to make a picot stitch in the same space. So you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go into that first single crochet that you made at the base of the chain 5. So take your crochet hook, go into that single crochet, that third single crochet at the base of the chain 5. Then you're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete your picot stitch. Now you can take and move the picot stitch over to give you space in that same space. Then you're going to make 2 more single crochet in the same space. There's 1 and 2. And this is what your work is going to look like. You just completed a picot stitch in that space along with single crochets. And we're going to repeat this all the way until you reach the chain 3 space. You're not going to make one in the last chain 3 space. So now in the next space, you're going to make 3 single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to make a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, go into that third single crochet at the base of the chain 5. You're going to yarn over and then pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch to complete your picot stitch. Then you can move the picot stitch over in that space. Then you're going to make 2 more single crochet in the same space. There's 1 and 2. And look how pretty those picot stitches look. So we're going to repeat this into the next space. So 3 single crochet, chain 5, go into that third single crochet at the base of the chain 5, yarn over, and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete your picot stitch. Then you can move it over and then complete 2 single crochet in the same space. This is how your picot stitches should look. So now in the next space, 3 single crochet, chain 5, slip stitch into that third single crochet at the base of the chain 5, scoot the picot stitch over in that space, make 2 single crochet to finish in that same space. Now we're going to make 1 more picot stitch into that next space. So 3 single crochet, chain 5, slip stitch at the base, move it over, last 2 single crochet in the same space, and then you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the last space, you're going to make 3 single crochet, then you're going to repeat the whole process again for the next arch. I'll just call it an arch. So in the next space, you're going to make 3 single crochet, then you're going to make your picot stitch into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So I'm going to make this last one with you, and then I'll let you repeat the pattern all the way around. So 3 single crochet in the next space, chain 5, slip stitch, scoot it over, 2 single crochet in the same space, three single crochet in the next space, chain 5, slip stitch at the base, scoot it over, 2 single crochet in the same space. Now, the last picot stitch, and you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picot stitches. Then in the last space, you're going to make 3 single crochet, and then you're going to repeat the process all the way around. This is how my work looks so far. So your 3 single crochets without the picot stitch should fall on both sides of the single crochet that's over the double crochet 2 together stitch from 2 rounds ago. And then the picot stitches should be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 3 single crochet without the picot stitch. And then you'll repeat this pattern all the way around, back to the beginning, and then come back. After you finish your last 3 single crochet for the round, you're going to make a slip stitch into that first single crochet that you made. So go into that first single crochet stitch that you made to start the round, yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete your slip stitch. Then you're going to finish off, so you just yarn over and then just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. Just cinch that knot down. Then you've finished your first motif. If you're going to continue on to make the beautiful set, I'm going to show you how I sewed my pieces together. And in the original pattern, it said that you were to tack the motifs together. So I'm not sure what that means, to tack together. So I'm just going to show you how I did it. And if you do understand that, then that's what you do with the pieces. You tack them together. So this is the right side of your work. If you flip over to the wrong side, you'll see that loose yarn end from the original magic circle. You can leave that for now. That way you can tell which side is the wrong side if you're going to be joining the motifs together. And then just take your other loose yarn end where you finished off, and we're going to bury it. I'm going to show you how to bury it into your work. So you just take your tapestry needle and then take the yarn through the eye of the needle. Then you're going to take your work, and I'm going to go up through the back of the work with my tapestry needle. Then I'm going to take and weave it through the loops on the back of the motif. Then bring that yarn through. Then you can just take and cut the loose yarn end. Then you buried your work. So the reason why I'm going to have you leave the loose yarn end near the magic circle is so you can tell that this is the wrong side if you're going to go on and attach the 9 motifs together, which I'm going to show you how to do. And if you're finished and you just want to leave it as a snowflake, you can go ahead and bury all of your loose yarn ends. And then what you can do if you want to iron it is take a thin towel and lay it over your motif, and then take your iron on the cotton setting. And I left my steam on, and then you just, on top of the towel over the motif, you just iron the motif, and then that straightens it and flattens it. If you're going to continue on with me, I'm going to show you how I attached my motifs, and also I'm going to show you how I made the fill-in motif. After you have made your 9 motifs, what you're going to do is, with the right side up, you're going to line up your picot stitches. So here you can see the first picot stitch on these half wheels, and then you're going to line up the second picot with the second picot on the other motif. So you can see here's the first and then the second. And then you're going to line up these next 2 picots. And the same on the other side. So here's your first picot on the half wheel, and then your second and third picots line up. Then what you're going to do is flip your motif on top of the other motif so that the right sides are together, and then the wrong side is facing up. And then you're going to want to line up those half wheels again. So here you can see, here's the first picot, and then here's the second and the third. So they're lined up. And then you're going to take your tapestry needle, and then you're going to get some yarn onto the tapestry needle. And then I'm going to show you how I measured mine. So here, you're just going to pull through about 3 to 4 inches of yarn, and then you're going to fold it over on itself to where it reaches the top of the tapestry needle, and then you're going to fold over again a loop. Then you're going to take and just cut the yarn, not the loop, just level with the loop. And then you're going to take your motifs. So again, you want to make sure you have it lined up right. You have the first picot stitches there, and then here's the second. So you're going to take your tapestry needle and go through the loop of the picot stitch and through the loop of the other picot stitch on the other motif. Bring the yarn through, and then you want about 3 to 4 inches, just like you lined up, level with the opposite side, and then just cut. Then you're just going to tie a knot. Then you're going to take your leftover yarn, and then you're going to go into that third picot right next to the second one. So here's the first that you leave empty, the second, and then the third. So pick that up, go through the loop of the picot, and then you're going to go through the loop of the other motif's picot, and then bring that yarn through, then line it up so that they're even, and then just tie a knot. And you can see how I didn't waste any yarn. You want to leave a little bit of yarn because you're going to bury these loose yarn ends into your work. So now you want to get some more yarn onto your tapestry needle, just like we did before. So I'm going to measure about 3 to 4 inches, then loop it over on itself, level with the tapestry needle. And then cut. Then you're going to take your motifs, and you can see the two that I joined on this side, and you want to join the exact same way on the opposite side. So here's the first picot stitch lined up with the other motif. Here's the second. So you're going to take your tapestry needle and go through the loop, and then go through the loop of the other motif. Then cut the yarn, tie a knot, Then you're going to go do the same thing with the next picot. Take your remaining yarn, then go through the loop of the picot and on the other motif. Make sure that the yarn is level, equal, and then tie your knot. Then, when you flip so that the right side is facing up, you see how it looks beautiful. The picot stitches are lined up together, and now you have two of the motifs sewn together. So now you need two more on the bottom. So just line up another motif, and this one I already sewed in the loose yarn end. So if that's the case, another way you can tell is the picot stitches tend to go up all around on the right side. And then when you flip it to the wrong side, they kind of face down. So that's another trick too. So then you just line up the two motifs just like you did before. So you have the two half wheels, and then you have your first picot, then the second picot lines up with the second picot on the other motif. Once you have it lined up, flip it over on top so that the wrong side is facing up and the right sides are together. Then just turn it around, and then you're going to sew these motifs together just like you did before. So you get the yarn onto your tapestry needle, and then you're going to tie your knots just like you did before. So I line up the half wheels. So I have the first picot right here, and then the second picot. I'm just going to go into that loop of the picot stitch and the loop of the other motif picot stitch. Then you're going to take and tie a knot. And then you're going to sew the third picot together. And then repeat that on this side. Now you can see that I sewed a knot into both sides. Then you can flip it over. Now I have the right sides of all three. Now you need to sew the fourth one here. So here I can see this is the wrong side. So I'm going to flip it over. Now you have to sew this motif in place. So you just line it up. Make sure it's all sitting flat. And then you're going to line up the motifs. So here you can see the first spoke or picot stitch. Here's the first picot stitch. So you're lining up the second and the third. second, and the third. So flip it over on top of the motif on the opposite side. So now the wrong side's facing up. You can see my loose yarn in there. So the right sides of the motifs are together. You can flip it around. Then you can see you line up the wheels so that the first picot stitch is lined up, and then you're going to sew the second and third, and then come back. So now you can see where I sewed the picot stitch together on both motifs. So here's the first picot, second and third. Then when you flip it so that the right side is facing up, you can see how I have these two joined, these two and these two joined. So then the last one that you have to join is down here. So you know that the first picot stitch is not joined. Here's the first on these two. So those are not joined. So you're going to join these two and these two. So then you take your fourth motif here and the top one, and you flip them over so that the right sides are together and the wrong sides are facing up. And then you just have to sew. You line up the motifs just like I showed you so that your first picots are lined up, and then you're going to sew the second and third together. And then over here, the second and third together. So now you can see how I joined my motifs. Then when you flip it over to the right side showing, you can see that you have the four motifs joined together perfectly. So then the fill-in motif will go here. And then I'll show you how to do that after you bury all of your loose yarn ends. So on the other side, you're going to leave one of the loose yarn ends from the magic circle. That way you know which side is the wrong side. But then you're going to bury all of your other loose yarn ends, which is not going to be fun, but you can do it while you're watching TV or something. But you just take your loose yarn end, put it onto your tapestry needle, and you have the wrong side facing up. Then you can take and just kind of weave the loose yarn end through. And then you can take and bury it, go through the loops on the back, and then just bring your tapestry needle and loose yarn end through. Then you can take and trim, being careful not to cut your work. Trim your loose yarn end, and you do that with all of your loose yarn ends. And like I said, just leave one with the magic circle. That way you can tell which is the wrong side, which is the right side. After you bury all the loose yarn ends, I'll show you how to make the fill-in motif. So you can see that I sewed all of my 9 motifs together, and it left 4 openings, which is where I'm going to show you how to do the fill-in motif. And on the wrong side, all of my loose yarn ends are sewed in, and you can't even tell. It looks really good. So now, for the fill-in motif, we're going to be working in this circle right here. So I'm going to set this aside for now. because you're going to take your yarn and your crochet hook, and we're going to start with the magic circle, just like what we did in the beginning. So you're going to wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers, hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops around the middle fingers, bring up a loop, yarn over, and go through that loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to go under the 2 loops, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through both loops on the hook for a single crochet. Then you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to make a double crochet into the magic circle. So you yarn over, go into the magic circle, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and then go through the remaining 2 loops to complete a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet into the magic circle. Then you're going to chain 3, and double crochet into the magic circle, and just keep repeating this just like we did in the beginning until you have a total of 7 holes or spaces. So here's 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, double crochet into the magic circle, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more, chain 3, double crochet into the magic circle. So now I should have 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then leave your crochet hook in the loop, grab the beginning stitch with your forefinger and thumb, and you have these 2 loops on the opposite side. Pull on one. If it doesn't close, then pull on the other one, but this one's closing, so just pull it, but don't pull it to where it's completely closed. You want to leave a small opening. Then pull on the loose yarn end, and that's about the size opening that I'm leaving for mine, which is the same as before. Then you just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to make a slip stitch into that 3rd chain from the beginning chain. So here's the first single crochet, 2nd chain, 3rd chain, go into that stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete a slip stitch. And this is what your work will look like. You just completed the first round. Now you're going to chain 1, then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next space. So 1 single crochet into the next space. Then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is how your work looks. Now you want to bring over your motifs that you've sewn together. And I'm in the top left corner where I have 4 motifs and the center that I'm going to be working into. And what you want to do is you want to find the 2 picot stitches that you sewed together. So you can see here it makes like an equal sign right here. And then what you want to do is once you find that, you want to go to the first picot stitch to the right. Then you're going to take your work that you have and you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go down into the loop of that picot stitch. So you're going to go right through the center. So you can see this is the picot stitches that I sewed together. I have the right side facing up. So make sure your right sides are facing up. Then I have the 1 loop from the chain 7 that I made. And then I'm taking the crochet hook and I'm going through the center of the picot stitch. Then you're going to take and you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then bring the yarn through the picot stitch and through the loop on your crochet hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to take the circle and make sure you have the right side facing up. So the wrong side is where you have the loose yarn end. You want to turn it around. Make sure you have the right side facing up, and then right in the same space next to that first single crochet that you made, you're going to make another single crochet. So you just bring up a loop. Then you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through both loops to complete a single crochet. And then this is how your work looks so far. And you just completed the first attachment to the first picot stitch. Now, I want to make sure that you can see here is the picot stitch, and you can see how the chain 7 goes up from the magic circle through the picot stitch with a slip stitch, chain 7 back down to the magic circle. See how it forms a triangle and it's not twisted. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the top stitch of that double crochet stitch. So go into the double crochet stitch of the magic circle, bring up a loop, and then complete a single crochet. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the next space. Then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can hear some of our dinner, starting our dinner in the background. So now you're going to take and look at where that equal sign is of the picot stitches that you sewed together. And then you're going to go to the next picot stitch on the opposite side. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go down through the center from the top, down through the center through the top. Then you're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook, the picot stitch and the loop on the hook. for a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to go back to your magic circle. Make sure you have the right side facing up, and then you're going to go in the same space and then make a single crochet next to the first single crochet you made in that space. And then this is how your work looks. Then you can see how I'm forming a triangle in each of the spaces. Then you're just going to repeat what you just did. Make a single crochet into the top stitch of the double crochet. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the next space. Then you're going to chain 7. Then you're going to look at the round, and you can see here is the next picot stitches that you sewed together. It looks like an equal sign, and then you're going to go right to the picot stitch just to the right of that. You're going to take your crochet hook, and then you're going to go down into that picot stitch from the top right through the center of the loop, and then you're going to yarn over and then bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 7. Then you're going to chain 7. Then you're going to go down to the magic circle, go into that same space, make your single crochet, and then you can see how you have your triangle made. Then you're going to make a single crochet into the top stitch of the double crochet. One single crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to chain 7. Then you're going to go back. This is the picot stitch that you sewed together, makes an equal sign, and then we went into that picot stitch there. So now you're going to go into this picot stitch. So I come from the top down through the loop. Then I yarn over and, bring it into frame. Yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go down to the magic circle in the same space. Make a single crochet. And you can see how you have your triangle. You have your triangles all the way around. Then just turn your work because you're going around the circle. You're going to go into the double crochet, the top stitch of the next double crochet, make a single crochet, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 7, then you're going to look at your work and you can see your next picot stitches that you sewed together forms an equal sign. Look for the picot stitch right before it. Go down from the top through the loop. Then you're going to yarn over. Bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go into the same space on your magic circle loop. Make a single crochet, single crochet into the top stitch of the next double crochet, single crochet into the next space, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to find the equal sign and you're going to go right into the next picot stitch. Go down from the top through the loop. Then you're going to yarn over and then bring the yarn through for a slip stitch. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go down to the magic circle in the same space. Make your single crochet. Then you're going to single crochet into the top stitch of the next double crochet. Single crochet into the next space. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're going to find the next equal sign in the round. Here it is. This is where we sewed the picots together. Then go into the picot right before, picot stitch. Go down from the top through the loop. Then you're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back to the magic circle in the same space. Make a single crochet. Then you're going to single crochet into the top stitch of the next double crochet. Then into the next space. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the last picot, you look at your equal sign, is going to be the next picot stitch right here. Go down through the top, through the center of the loop. Yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to complete a slip stitch. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back to the magic circle, make a single crochet in the same space. Then you're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch over. So you go right into the next stitch over, bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then you're going to finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So then I'm going to show you. This is the motif And this is how it should look. You should have your triangles all the way around. And then you can iron down if it's twisted a little bit so that it's not twisted. And that's how you make the fill-in motif. So go ahead and bury your loose yarn ends, and then you're going to repeat the process in each of the remaining large holes. Just fill them in with your fill-in motif. So now you can see that all of my triangles are not twisted. I'm going to show you a little trick that I did to get it so that the triangles don't twist on you. So here I'm making my next fill-in motif, and I have my chain of 7, and I'm ready to make the slip stitch with the picot. So I'm looking for my 2 picots that I sewed together, making an equal sign. And I know I'm going to start with the picot to the right, the first picot to the right. Now what you want to do is take your crochet hook, and your yarn is going to hang down. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, go down into the center of the picot loop, just like we did before. But now you're going to bring the yarn up behind the crochet hook. Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then go in front of your yarn, and then go through both loops on the hook. Then you're going to chain 7. Then you'll see, make sure that your magic circle is facing upright, and then you'll see how it lays perfectly. Go ahead and make your single crochet into the same space. And then you'll see that your triangle lays perfectly. So I'll do this again with you so you can see how I did it again. Okay, so I made my single crochet in the top stitch of the double crochet, and then a single crochet into the next space, made my chain of 7. Then I look, here's my equal sign. So now I'm going to go into the next picot. So your yarn is going to be going down. Take your crochet hook, go into the top part of the picot stitch right in the center. Then you're going to bring the yarn around behind the crochet hook. Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. Let me try that again. Then you're going to chain 7. And then you're going to make a single crochet into the same space. And then you can see that the triangle is not twisted. It's neat how that works. So I'm going to show you one more time because it's a little tricky. So I'll show you again. Okay, so now I have my chain of 7. You're going to look for your next equal sign. Those are the picots that you sewed together. Then you know that you're going to be going into this picot stitch to the right of the equal sign. You have your yarn going down. Take your crochet hook, go into the center loop of the picot stitch from the top. Go through. Then you're going to wrap the yarn behind. See how you go behind the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and you can see how I'm holding my thumb to pull down the yarn as I bring the hook through. Bring the hook through both loops on the hook. Oh. Let me try that again. Oops, you want to have the yarn down. There. Then chain 7. And then you're going to go down to the same space and make your single crochet. And then when you check your triangle, you'll see that it doesn't twist. So I'll make another one with you to show you again. Okay, so I have my chain of 7, and I can see that I used this picot. So now I go, here's the equal sign where I sewed the picots together. So I'm going to go into this picot stitch. Now remember, the yarn goes down. Take your crochet hook, go into the picot stitch from the top, right through the center of the loop. Then you're going to bring your yarn around to the back of the crochet hook. Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then bring the yarn through both loops. Then you're going to chain 7. Then you're going to take and single crochet into the same space. Then if you check it, you'll see that the triangle doesn't twist. It's a neat little trick that I learned because I did enough of these. So if it does twist and you just can't seem to get it to not to twist, all you have to do is when you iron, you just kind of straighten out your triangle and then just iron it down. But if you use the trick I did, it just makes it easier because all your triangles are going to be straight and not twisted. So I'll do one more with you and then you can finish on your own. So now I have my chain of 7 and I have my next equal sign or the picots that I sewed together. So I know that I need to go to this picot just to the right of it. I have my yarn facing down. Take my crochet hook, go from the top down the center of the picot. Then I'm going to wrap the yarn around the back of the crochet hook. Then you're going to take and yarn over, turn the hook upside down. Then you're just going to bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you just take and single crochet into the same space. Then when you look at your triangle, it magically is straight and doesn't twist. So go ahead, finish your inner motif, and then come back. Now you're all finished with your beautiful doily, and you can take a towel, a thin towel, and lay it across the top and take your iron on cotton setting. And I used steam to just iron over the motif, and then make sure that your triangles are all straight and not twisted. Just iron them down. And that's it. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe for more of my fun videos, and I hope you have a beautiful day. The other thing I wanted to let you know that is, if you use the same yarn as me, I was able to complete 2 full motifs with 1 skein. And then there was just a little bit left over. I wasn't able to complete a 3rd one.